Hello, this is Reid Hepler, the OER librarian for CSI Library. Now I'm going to have a training on kind of the specifics, the details of filling out your Pressbooks textbook. One thing that was more specific, I felt, than the general metadata in the book from the last training is when you go into your book info, at the very bottom, there's a section for book taglines and short descriptions. These are kind of jaunty little phrases you can put to grab readers' attention and make it engaging for readers. So unless, they're required to read the textbook, they'll be they'll be attracted to your textbook. And this may, who knows, be helpful for educators, especially a long description that could be somewhat of an abstract for your textbook, for lack of a better phrase. So now let's go to the specific parts of the textbook and explore what you can put in your chapters and in your parts. So here we have, if you can recognize this, the organized section of my Pressbooks instance for my cataloging textbook. And let's go to cataloging overview. So the first thing that you'll notice is, well, we have the title and we have the permalink, but in the text, there's a glossary term. Now, glossary terms, like I mentioned in the general training, there are lists of terms in your textbook that you have definitions for. And these are more detailed generally than the definitions you'll give in the textbook, or maybe they're the same definitions you have in your textbook, but you only want to give them once. So you can put these in the glossary section, and then when you have them in your text, you put insert glossary term and put that term in, and then it will be a pop-up box that appears. Another thing that you can do is you can have different types of text formats. Here we have heading 2, paragraph, even this is in paragraph. You can put italics. You can put different symbols in your text, like Goethe's name. Many different options. You can also put H5P items in your text. Here we have an H5P ID of an H5P item that I created over here. And I'll show you how to do that a little bit later in another training. But you can insert that H5P ID and it will appear just as it does on h5p.com if it's the same thing, or in your H5P list. Another thing that is really interesting is the way you can put YouTube videos. Well, you can put any videos if you upload them, but you can put YouTube videos directly into your textbook. So here's a section on understanding Library of Congress call numbers. And I took the YouTube link and I copied and pasted it into here. And now we have the video right in a textbook. You generally, with videos and other things, you want to attribute things. But here we have the attribute, we have the title, we have a logo. You can go watch it on YouTube. And here we can edit some of these things, of course, but there's the information and the source of it. And you can even from YouTube get a transcript and you can copy and paste it and edit it. And then you have the transcript of the video for those who can't watch the video. So that is very helpful as well. Another thing you can do is you can insert images into your textbook. Here's an image that I found from a public domain diagram. And I have the alternative text, I have the caption, I have other information. And you can add those through the media section, or you can add them just in here. You can have an insert image, add media right here, and then you can do that just right in the textbook and select an image for inclusion in the textbook. At the bottom of the page here, we have the licensing information. It's important to do that, but you just have the title and the link. You have the author, and then you have a link to and a description of the license. That's very important. Another feature you want to have is the footnotes, potentially. Over here, we have footnotes for a text from the organization of information, and you put bracket footnote, the information, the data, and then and footnote. This is an APA compliant source, but I'm using the bibliography citations as footnotes. That's permissible, and I think it flows better with the text. So you don't have to specify what style you're using. You can adapt it, you can change it. There are many different options. I will caution you as well when you're writing, especially if you're writing a long, huge text. Like I wrote probably half of this or 3/4 of this at once, and then I added to it later. Press save frequently. If you refresh or if you leave it for a day, come back to it, and if you type again and you click save, it'll log you out. A lot of the text will be lost. I learned that the hard way. On another page, I wrote about, 7 paragraphs on Ferber, and then I came back the next day and wrote it again, and all of it was gone. So make sure that you save and refresh. And here are all that's a lot of the detailed stuff you want to know about. You can put underlines, you can put pasting things, clear formatting, indentations, import things from other sources. You can, of course, publish. You can add more plugins. You can add, if you're doing a math or scientific thing, you can do superscripts, subscripts, LaTeX originally, because Pressbooks was a WordPress-based service. They didn't have LaTeX, but thanks to people who are good at developing those things, there's a plugin that you can use, and you can put LaTeX into your textbook. So that's very, very helpful. So if you need any other help with these things, feel free to reach out to me, but it's very self-explanatory. And if you practice with it, you'll be able to do a lot of things. So good luck, have fun with your textbook creation process. Thank you very much.